Hey toy fans, I'm D21 Beast and welcome back to my figure review series here on my YouTube channel. And today we've got another Heroes in a Half Shell review. That's right, we've got a Master Splinter figure for you from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film that just came out this past summer. This figure was released by Playmates in 2014, and it coincides with the release of the movie I just mentioned. Let's go ahead and get started by taking a look at that packaging. Coming down the front of this packaging, you can see the logo for the Ninja Turtle movie. On the left-hand side of the packaging, we do have all four turtles from the film. And then we've got a blister bubble that does house the Master Splinter figure inside, as well as his accessories. And towards the bottom, we do have the label for his name. Flipping this package around now, you do have the logo for the Ninja Turtle movie on the right. And on the left-hand side, you do have the images of the turtles from that film. Underneath the logo for the movie, you do have a description of the film. Go ahead and pause now to read that. As we come down the rest of this card packaging here, we do have a complete lineup of all the figures available in this wave, with the exception of Trenchcoat Raphael. Not sure why he's missing. Alright guys, well that's the packaging. Let's say we get Splinter out of the box and see what this figure is all about. Alright toy fans, here we have Splinter out of the box, and overall this figure is pretty basic, but he's also pretty decent too. As we take a look at that paintwork on the face, you can see that he does have some two-tone colors there going on. He's got a little bit of flesh coming through the balding areas of the rat's actual fur. He's had some paint inside the ears. He has this top knot sculpted on his head, which I don't remember from the film, so I'll have to watch it again to see if that's still actually there. He's got his whiskers coming down here. He does have this sort of accessory around his neck, this medallion, that's completely free and loose, and you can't actually pull it off the figure, so that's a nice touch. He's got a sculpted gi or robe here, with some gold painted on the emblems on his chest. He's also got that same paint here on the back. And as we come down, you can see that he's got an interior robe to his gi or whatever he's wearing here, and he's got a belt that's got some paintwork on there. And he's got these just fabric lines sculpted into the figure everywhere around, so that's a nice touch. And then coming down, we do have his feet, which are mostly unpainted, but the front of his sandals are actually painted black. And the rest of the figure is basically just these 2 or 3 colors here. We've got kind of a black for the robe. The interior robe's a bit of a beige color. He's got the pink on his head. His rat parts are actually molded out of a gray plastic, so Playmates definitely maximized their use of limited coloring wherever they could, and I do appreciate that about this figure. To go along with that medallion I've already mentioned, Splinter actually comes with these 2 other accessories that you see here. The first one, and unfortunately it's a little warped out of the packaging, is this katana blade. Now this katana blade is actually identical to the sculpt and style that we saw with the basic Leonardo figure from this movie line. And it doesn't have any paintwork, just like it didn't on Leonardo. But Splinter does have a scabbard for a sword, and it fits nicely inside. We just go ahead and slide it in, and Splinter can hold the sword, hold the scabbard, or just set it off to the side. And I do like that Splinter actually has some weapon storage, when most of the basic figure line for this wave with the Ninja Turtles did not. Articulation on the Splinter figure is pretty simple, and that's probably this figure's biggest failing. As we take a look at the head, you can see that it does rotate left and right, although not that far. He does have a full rotation at the shoulder, but his arm only bends up about that far. He's got a single sort of cut rotation here at the elbow that spins all the way around. No actual bending outward or forward or anything like that. He does have rotation here at the hand, and then he has the same articulation on the other side. There's no waist or ab or anything like that articulation, and his legs are only articulated at the hip, but due to the kimono or gi that he's wearing, you're not going to get a lot of movement out of these legs. They basically are just going to stand there. And his tail actually does move a little bit too, but just a little bit. So, very basic range of articulation on the Splinter figure. Height-wise, this Splinter figure stands at right around 4.5 inches tall, so he's definitely one of the shorter figures in the movie series line. For some size comparison, here we have Splinter standing next to movie Leonardo from the same figure line. Here's Splinter standing next to his counterpart from the 2007 animated TMNT film. Here he is standing next to his 2003 animated series counterpart. And here he is compared to his counterpart from the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. And finally, here he is compared to the 6-inch scale Marvel Legends Infinite series Wolverine. Alright toy fans, well that's my review of Splinter from the 2014 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie series toy line released by Playmates. Overall, this figure is probably a pass for you if you're not a huge fan of the film. It's not got the greatest amount of articulation. There's not a lot of paintwork and detail on this guy. Now what they did do was nice, but we've seen better from other figures, and overall it's just kind of a middle-of-the-road figure, much like all the other figures from the Ninja Turtle movie toy line are. But if you're a completionist like me, this Splinter does look great when you pose him next to all your other Splinter figures, or even when you've got him posed with all the other movie turtles from that toy line. So definitely go out and pick him up for that reason. Alright guys, well that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you saw here, please feel free to rate, share, and subscribe. Also be sure to hit me up on Twitter at D21Beast. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.